Welcome to the Light of Sirio podcast. My name is Dori Fari and I will speak with a realized spiritual master about his views on life and the topic of spirituality.
Om Namah Savan Savan Namo 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 Om Namah Kirpal Kirpal Namo Om Namah Kirpal Kirpal Namo Om Namah Jaibo Ajaibo Namo Om Namah Ajaibo Ajaibo Namo Om Namah Savan Savan Namo Om Namah Savan Savan Namo Om Namah Kirpal Kirpal Namo Om Namah Kirpal Kirpal Namo Om Namah Ajaibo Ajaibo Namo Om Namah Ajaibo Ajaibo Namo Om Namah Savan Savan Namo Om Namah Savan Savan Namo Om Namah Kirpal Kirpal Namo Om Namah Kirpal Kirpal Namo Om Namah Ajaibo Ajaibo Namo Om Namah Ajaibo Ajaibo Namo Om Namah Savan Savan Namo Om Namah Savan Savan Namo Om Namah Kirpal Kirpal Namo Om Namah Kirpal Kirpal Namo Om Namah Ajaibo Ajaibo Namo Om Namah Ajaibo Ajaibo Namo Om Namah Ajaibo Ajaibo Namo Ajaibo Namo
So we are now at the second episode of season 4. I again have Master Sirio here with me in our little studio. So, welcome, dear Master.
Thank you.
So, in the previous episode, we were talking about Kundalini Yoga and Surya Shabd Yoga, also about regarding initiation. And somebody sent a question about this topic, and I would like to begin our episode with this question because it's very much related to the previous, but also it opens a new topic for us today. So it goes that when we get initiation, the master imparts some of its energy to the disciple. Does that involve the exchange of karmas between the master and the disciple also?
Initiation is a transmission of spiritual energy. But that doesn't mean that the master, by giving this transmission, he has less energy or he loses anything by it. Master Kirpal used to say that the storehouse has always supply of energy, and it doesn't matter how many switches you put on, you connect with it, still the supply doesn't diminish. So it's a blessing, it's a transmission of energy. Definitely, that's what initiation is all about. It's not just a ritual, a ceremony, or teaching a mantra, and that's it. No. Initiation, it's, Master Kirpal used to say, is transmitting the life impulse from the master to the student. Nowadays, it's fashionable to say student, not disciple. So we say student.
So what is this life impulse then?
It's say a spark of the Supreme Divine Power or Sadguru power, God into expression power that is transmitted to the person being initiated. And because of this blessing, because of this transmission, then the one who is initiated feels an upliftment, a certain withdrawn from his consciousness, from the physical body, and the inner vision is opened and gets to see the inner light, and sometimes even much more deep and profound experiences than just seeing the light, and then is connected with the Shabad or the live stream or the sound current or the voice of silence. We can call it in many ways. That's what initiation is. It's a blessing by which one is uplifted above human consciousness, physical consciousness, and open the inner vision and manifest the light, open the inner ears and manifest the sound. So does this bring a karmic bond also between the master and the student? Yes, definitely it does. You cannot benefit spiritually anybody without taking part of his karma on yourself. Not just a master, any person that is capable of conveying something spiritually to another person takes up some of his karma on himself or herself. It's just the law of compassion, the law of mercy. You give something, a gift, and for that you have to pay. So even more so with a master, when he gives initiation, he takes up part of the karma of the student or disciple on himself. Masters of this path say that pralabdha karma, the destiny karma by which this life is programmed, cannot be touched. That has to make its course happen according to the plan which was made before the person is born. But this store karma, the sanchit karma, which has been accumulated life after life, that is cut off, is eliminated, so that the person, after fulfilling this destiny or pralabdha karma for this life, then he will have only the reactions to the actions fulfilled during this life. And from this, a process starts by which, in a certain amount of life to come, the person will be able to achieve enlightenment or liberation, moksha, and thus get out of the wheel of transmigration. That's what the masters of this path teach, and that's how it is. Obviously, I'm not dogmatic, so I know that it's not the same with everybody. It's never the same with everybody, or even with two different people. So, to me, what is this sanchit karma? It is what's accumulated in our subconscious mind. And according to the experience that we have when we meet the master and we are initiated, part of this sanchit karma means this, our subconscious baggage is cut off according to the intensity of the experience which we may receive. Because I see many people, they take initiation. Those who have a great experience, their mind, their psyche is changed, is transformed. They really become different people, and they live from then on a different lifestyle.
So it also could sound like an exchange of karmas, because that's a good karma, a good destiny, that you meet the master, you interact with the master, and then you are changed in a positive way. But listening to you, I have several questions, but which is most related to this which you have just said. That so does it mean, or what does it mean that the master takes up part of the karma? Because it also sounds like the karma is eliminated, like cancelled.
Yes.
So it's not really that the master takes up on himself that karma and he has to pay our karma off. Is it like this, or is it partially like this, or this karma is just erased and cancelled?
No, it's just erased and cancelled. It doesn't take all this sanchit karma on himself, the master, because this is a foolish belief. If anybody believes it to be this way, because let's say Master Kripala initiated 120 or 50,000 people. If he had taken all the sanchit karma of these many people on himself, he would be burned into ash. I mean, he would destroy himself. So it's not that the master takes it on himself, but it is burned. That's all. Like You start a fire, you burn something, and that becomes ash. It doesn't exist anymore. So that's how it is. It is burned. It's not that the master takes it on himself.
Well, actually, I had another question before, which shaped in my mind, when you said that not only masters, but even people, when they benefit anybody spiritually, or like have mercy on somebody, help somebody, then they take up part of their karma. Because you said like this, that if we give a gift, we have to pay for it. And then I was thinking in myself that usually they say if you do good, then you will be rewarded, no? And then I thought, but what kind of a reward? That you give a gift, you do good, you behave good, you help somebody, and then you take up the burden of this person like a payment.
Well, it's different. If you help a person in any way, you do only good, and this, let's say, sharing of karma is not involved. If you just help a person who is sick, who is poor, in any other way. But when you help somebody spiritually, this is somehow interfering with the laws of nature. So, if you help somebody this way to raise his or her consciousness and understand something deeper about life, and also even more if somehow the person has a spiritual experience after talking with you, after coming to understand something of this spiritual life, spiritual understanding, spiritual philosophy, let's say, then yes, that's the law. You have to share part of his karma. It's mainly with the master, but also with those really spiritual people, students of the master who become capable of touching the inner chords of anybody.
But is it a negative thing to share karma with somebody, or is it a positive thing?
It's a positive thing. Why should it be negative?
Well, because karma somehow, it sounds like a burden, but can also be a good karma. So if I do good to somebody, maybe then good karma is shared with me. Or how does it work in practice? What does it mean exactly?
It means different with everybody. Again, let's not be schematic here. It doesn't happen with all the people in the same way. So it's not the same with everybody. It's different with everybody again. And anyway, you give something and you also get something. Because when you talk about elevated truths with somebody, when you have somebody understanding what life is all about, just in this process of talking, she's like giving a satsang somehow, you become a channel for the supreme power that talks through you, and through you conveys something to the other person. So this is a blessing for the person who acts as a channel for the Sadguru power, for the divine power. But at the same time, you share something of its karma, because that experience is going to change the direction of the life of that person. So it's a strong act. And you give something, you get something as a blessing because you act as a channel, but you also share something, which is not bad. I mean, it can be in so many ways, this. Mm-hmm. Whichever way is like divine power choosing what's best for you to experience and to go through. But one shouldn't worry about this. It's a process. It's how life goes. It's how spiritual transmission works.
Well, I see. And then another question, how does all this which was said up to now connect to free will? Because we had already an episode on karma and free will. If there was free will or if there wasn't. And eventually this helping somebody or influence or change the life of somebody, the direction of the life of somebody, then how does it connect to the free will of maybe mine and of the other person?
I don't see any free will coming into play here. This is a divine decision, let's say, that this is the right moment for you to convey something to that person and for that person to receive something through you. So, where is free will here? It just happens. Everything just happens. And this is my deep conviction. We don't do anything. Everything is done by the Supreme Divine, and everything just happens according to the divine plan. We just are chosen or act as the instrument, as the medium through which something happens. But we shouldn't take anything to our credit, because we don't do anything. Everything is done through us.
So we are not the doers.
We are not the doers, and we have to learn to always act this way and always act with this understanding that I am not the doer. The doer, it's you. I'm just your puppet. I'm just your instrument. You are the doer.
So can it be an excuse for certain actions that it wasn't done by me because I'm not the doer?
But you pay the karma. You're not the doer, but you're here to learn the lessons, you know?
So it's like a bad trick.
Yeah, life is tricky. Yes, life is tricky. And it's not done by you, but you pay the consequences. And through the consequences, you learn. And next time, you'll be more careful about what you do. That's how we grow.
And again, how does free will connect to it?
No free will. We are here on a process of learning. And we have a certain potential. We come in this life with a certain potential. According to this potential, we will be able to perform certain things and not be able to perform some other things. So, free will, if you like, take it like this. But everything is determined by the grace of God and by the potential that we have.
Well, yes, actually we had a complete episode about it in the second season of free will. So I thought to move on to another topic, which again was sent to me by somebody. A question which goes like this: would Master Sirio please discuss Kal and his opinion or understanding regarding the fall of the soul? So what is this Kal? Who is this Kal?
So, you see, I was born as a Catholic. In Catholic religion, the dogma is that God doesn't come into the manifestation, into the creation. God is not immanent, He's only transcendental. What does everything in this creation? It is Satan. Satan is the supreme power that moves everything in this world. I didn't like this point of view, this explanation of life and facts, and I refused it. Then I came on the path of Saint Matt. And here also there is this kind of explanation that somehow Satpurush or God gave this creation to Kal, which is another word for Satan. This Satan did so much devotion, it is said, in the Anurag Sagar. For 64 yugas, he stood on one leg, we don't know where, because there was no creation as yet. He had to make the creation. He was given later on the power to make his creation. Means these three planes of causal plane, astral plane, and physical plane. So, anyway, standing in the space on one leg, he did the devotion of Satpurush for 64 yugas. Then in another occasion, I don't know for how many more yugas, some 70 of them. Then Satpurush became pleased with him and gave him the seeds to make his own creation. And then once he made his creation, he wanted the souls. So God, to please Kal, gave him the souls to inhabit his creation. But then the souls complained with Satpurush, and they said, well, if he treats us bad in his creation, if he keeps us in bad condition, you send us there, but how will we come back? Don't worry, Satpurush said. If he treats you bad and you feel bad in his creation, then I will come myself and liberate you. Now, you know, this you can take it literally. And to me, only a stupid person can take it literally. The trick here is that Satpurush comes as Sadguru to liberate the souls. So this story gives just prominence to the Sadguru, who is the liberator somehow. Liberator from the domain of Kal, which is the causal plane, the astral plane, and the physical plane. It's a way of explaining things, which I don't like. So I refuse Catholicism because of this, and I refuse also this doctrine of Santmat, which I do not like. And even if my master talk about it, just doesn't convince me, and I refuse it. So my point of view is that God is immanent, is omniscient, is all-powerful, and all which happens, all which he manifests, all the creation, all the destruction, and the recreation, everything that happens in time and space is made by him. And whenever happens anything to us, which we understand as bad, which we understand as suffering, which we understand as troubles, it's very foolish to think this is Satan or this is Kal giving me troubles. I am being punished by Kal. This is a very stupid way of seeing things. Anything that happens to us, it's a lesson. We are in a school here in life, and we are here to learn lessons. And anything that happens, in good and bad, in joys and sorrows, is always a lesson from which we have to learn something in order to grow. And very often, the harder the lesson, the more we grow and we better ourselves. So my philosophy is that we find ourselves very often or always facing great blessing, skillfully dressed up as unsolvable problems. So I would say the harder the problem, the more difficult the problem is, better the lesson and the blessing.
Like a chance to make a jump in our evolution.
Yes. So this point of view of Kal and negative power, I just refuse it altogether. I believe that God is immanent. God is the all-doer. And everything which happens is for our betterment, for our improvement. So just forget about Kal. Because as you think, so you become. Just think that God is the old word. And just forget about this Kal. It doesn't exist. That's all. Just refuse it.
But Kal also means in Sanskrit time, isn't it?
That's it, in fact. It's time and space, if you want. They are always associated. But time and space, they are not independent from, let's say, the supreme intelligence that governs the whole universe. They are tools in his hands by which he makes certain things happen. He manifests certain dimensions in the creation. They're not independent. They're not negative. They're just meant to manifest a certain level of consciousness or planes of existence.
Well, then also if Kal is time and space, it's like describing the physical, the causal and astral plane, because it's also subject to time and space.
Well,
it's like it's in the realm of Kal. It's the realm of time and space.
In different scales, anyway. On the physical plane, we have a certain time scale. In the astral plane, it's totally different time scale. It's much lower, slower, let's say. It's much more rarefied. And in the causal plane, there is almost no time.
Well, it has been very, very interesting, the Master, and there is a lot to digest this time. You have given lots of information to us. So I think we continue from here next time, and thank you very much for the question, for those who send them, and thank you very much, dear Master, for your answers and for your time that you're giving to us. And next episode, as always, comes after 2 weeks, and if you have questions or anything to tell me about the podcast, you're most welcome to send an inquiry to the siriopodcast@gmail.com. And then if you like to try meditation with Master Sirio, you can do it by listening to the Daily Guidance Meditation podcast, in which there is a new episode published every day. Now it's over 100 episodes. So you're welcome to follow that. And so may you be blessed. And next episode after 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Om Namah Savan Nama Om. Om Namah Savan Nama Om. Om Namah Kirpal Nama Om. Om Namah Kirpal Nama Om. Om Namah Ajaibo Nama Om. Om Namah Ajaibo Nama Om. Om Namah Savan Nama Om. Om Namah Savan Nama Om. Om Namah Kirpal Nama Om. Om Namah Kirpal Nama Om. Om Namah Ajaibo Nama Om. Om Namah Ajaibo Nama Om. Om Namah Savan Nama Om. Om Namah Savan Namah Om Namah Kirpal Namah Om Namah Kirpal Namah Om Namah Ajaibo Namah Om Namah Ajaibo Namah Om Namah Savan Namah Om Namah Savan Namah Om Namah Kirpal Namah Om Namah Kirpal Namah Om Namah Ajaibo Namah Om Namah Ajaibo Namah Om Namah Ajaibo Namah